Good evening, sir. Welcome to
Good
the
evening,
session.
everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Sir, can we begin?
Oh, yes, please start.
Thank you, sir. A very pleasant evening to all distinguished panelists and participants. Bharti Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management, BVI CAM, in association with the Computational Intelligence Society, CIS chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Computer Society CS chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Technology and Engineering Management Society, TEMS chapter of IEEE Delhi section, System Man and Cybernetics SMC Society chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Communication Society of IEEE Delhi section, Consultants Network Affinity CNA Group of IEEE Delhi section, Life Member Affinity LMA Group of IEEE Delhi section, Inter-Society Relations IRS Standing Committee of IEEE Delhi section, Industry Relations and Special Interest Group on Humanitarian Technology, Site Standing Committee of IEEE Delhi section, Region 10 of IEEE, with the Associations of Computer Society of India, CSI, Institute of Information Technology Professionals, IITP, ISTE Delhi section, and IETE Delhi Center as technical collaborators. Welcome you all to the IEEE IETE BVI CAM Technical Lecture Series on productivity improvement using GitHub Copilot. With immense pride and honor, we are delighted to announce that we, with united hands, mark special contribution for the monumental occasion Golden Jubilee celebrations of the IEEE Delhi section from 13th May 2025 to 12th May 2026. We mark 50 years of this vibrant and pioneering section, a journey that began in 1976 and has since shaped the technological and professional landscape of Northern India through innovation, collaboration, and learning. This webinar is an initiative to celebrate this legacy. According to Paul J. Mayer, productivity is never an accident. It is always the result of a commitment to excellence, intelligent planning, and focused effort. This session explores how GitHub Copilot, an AI powered coding assistant developed by GitHub and OpenAI, can transform the way developers write code and enhance their overall productivity. Participants will learn how Copilot leverages artificial intelligence to generate code suggestions, automate repetitive tasks, and streamline the software development workflow. This session will cover how Copilot integrates into popular development environments, its key features, and its practical demonstration of its use in real coding scenarios. Attendees will also gain insights into the best practices for using Copilot responsibly, understanding its limitation, and maintaining code quality and security while leveraging AI assistance. I would first take this opportunity to welcome amongst us our distinguished panelists for the day. We are privileged to have amongst us a galaxy of experts. I would first welcome amongst us Professor Emin Huda sir, Director, Bharti Vidyapeeth's Institute of Computer Applications and Management, BVI CAM, and Chairperson IEEE Delhi section, to address the participants with his inspiring words. Over to you, sir.
Am I audible, Dr. Ritika?
Yes, sir.
Good evening, one and all. At the outset, let me take this opportunity to welcome today's valued speaker, Ms. Akansha Tejwani, architect Harman, on the very important and very latest topic, productivity improvement using GitHub Copilot. I would also like to take this opportunity to welcome my friends from various professional societies who have joined or have been joining, and participants from all over country and globally. Dear friends, many of you know that this technical webinar series was started way back in May 2020 during the backdrop of the COVID as a learning platform to disseminate knowledge and keep them engaged for active work. Since then, this webinar series is being continued, and by now we have conducted 190, 199 activity. This is just one before the 200, the double century. Dear friends, in 2024, IEEE US invited proposal for successful initiatives which was started across the world in the backdrop of the COVID for knowledge dissemination, and hundred proposals were received. We also submitted a proposal. And this webinar series, which was started under IEEE Delhi section with Bharati Vidyapeeth, was adjudicated as the best sustainable series in entire world by the IEEE, and we got an award by Education Activity Board. The credit goes to all the participants, speakers, and of course my backend team. This webinar series, which today is being organized on productivity improvement using GitHub Copilot. Friends, around 33 years ago, I joined industry, and then there was no concept of GitHub. There is no concept of Copilot. I was working in CMC in a project team who was at that moment responsible for automating the first generation automation of Indian railways. No GitHub, no Copilot. But in last 3.5 decades, the entire ecosystem of the software industry, and why only the software industry, entire ecosystem day in, day out have changed. And now the people expect a better functionality software with more features at a lesser cost, and that too almost same day. That's why the traditional productivity, software productivity models have failed, and newer models are coming. And I keep on saying that this change is evolving and this change is constant, which will always happen. And that's why I say that इंसान घर बदलता है, लिबास बदलता है, रिश्ते बदलता है, दोस्त बदलता है, फिर भी परेशान क्यों रहता है? क्योंकि हम अपने आप को नहीं बदलते. And that is why I connected two पंक्तिस of गालिब with this, कि उम्र भर गालिब यही भूल करता रहा, धूल चेहरे पे थी और मैं आईना साफ करता रहा. My dear friends, when we are talking of increasing the productivity, believe me, if we do not increase the productivity, probably the changing ecosystem will change us. The customer will go to some other organization where people are using smart tools, where people are trying to apply some such rate kind of models, the rapid action development model kind of environment, some such agile and extreme concept, which will ensure to give a working version of the product same day to the customer. Because customer, the degree of agility in the mindset of the customer has also changed a lot and will keep on changing. And we as a support service provider, we as a developer, we as an organization have got no choice to see to it that the customer will keep on believing in the traditional system. So the changes are on the card. We must go ahead to make changes. We must adapt to the newer technologies. We should not misuse the technology. Rather, we should use the technology. That is what the message was given in this two panktis. कि उम्र भर गालिब यही भूल करता रहा, धूल चेहरे पे थी और मैं आईना साफ करता रहा. कि टेक्नोलॉजी को दोष देने के बजाय हमें अपने अप्रोच को दोष देना चाहिए और उसे बदलना चाहिए, अपने अंदर बदलाव लाना चाहिए. तभी चेंजिंग इकोसिस्टम के जो रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं, दैट विल गेट फुलफिल्ड. Thank you so much. There are other webinars. The next Saturday, that is 29th, is a very important day for me, for my entire team, for everyone, because the 200 episode, the double century, we are going to complete on 29th of November. Very emotional and very historic occasion. One more important occasion this year for IEEE, that from 13th of May 2025 till 12th of May 2026 is a golden jubilee year. 50th year celebration of IEEE Delhi section. I invite all of you, those who are here, to join on 20th as well, 29th as well, to witness and mark that historic 200 webinar, so that when we will lead to 300, you can say, yes, I have been part of 200 episode as well. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best. I can see my friend Anil is here, and I can see the very learned professor, Professor Manohar Lal is here, and many people who didn't want to get identified, but they are part of attendees. So welcome to all of them, and keep joining in high good numbers and keep motivating to all of us. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best. Keep learning despite disruptions, and keep inspiring people. Thank you so much. Over to you, Dr.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the motivating words. With this, I would welcome amongst us our expert, Ms. Akanksha Tejwani, with an e-bouquet. Welcome to the session, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ritika.
Dear participants, Ms. Akanksha Tejwani is a technical architect in the IT industry with over 11 years of experience.
एक मिनट रुकियो, एक कॉल आ रही है, रुक जा, मैं तुझे करती हूँ। हाँ क्या?
Ms. Akanksha Tejwani, I request all participants to kindly keep themselves on mute. Ms. Akanksha Tejwani is a technical architect in the IT industry with over 11 years of experience in designing, developing, and delivering scalable technology solutions. Throughout her career, she has worked across diverse domains and
नहीं यार,
technologies, leading end-to-end architect design, system integration,
अभी नहीं
and
होता,
modernization
वो चलाना होता है।
initiatives.
तो इस चक्कर में
Akanksha
मुझे
is
कल बात करनी
passionate about leveraging emerging technologies such as AI-assisted development tools, cloud platforms, and automation frameworks to drive
है, पूरा अपने
innovation
पीछे सीख रही हूँ,
and
कुछ
improve
नहीं होता
software engineering and productivity. Her
यार।
expertise lies in bridging the gap between business requirements and technical implementation, ensuring robust, efficient, and maintainable solutions. We are honored to have you amongst us, ma'am. I would now request you to kindly enlighten the House. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Ritika, for giving me this opportunity. And thank you, Professor M.N. Hora. Very, very, very rightly said. And it's a great opportunity to share industry insights with this scale of audience and talk about what today's era is working on in terms of artificial intelligence. Thank you, Professor Manohar Lal, for joining us, and Anil sir for sharing this opportunity with me to share my insights with such an audience. Uh, Also, a very good evening to all the dignitaries and the incredible audience who have joined us. I can see there are 60 above part attendees who have joined us today, and that too on a Saturday evening at this hour. It reflects on how we want to learn, engage, and be ahead of the market when it comes to AI tools. It's great to see students, faculty, and professionals coming together for a topic that sits right at the intersection of software development and artificial intelligence. Over the last few years, AI powered tools have rapidly transformed the way we learn, code, and collaborate. Amongst these tools, GitHub Copilot has emerged as one of the most exciting and impactful innovations, acting as a real time coding partner that helps developers with writing code faster, learning new concepts efficiently, and focus more on problem solving rather than syntax. There are other tools also available in the market as well, like Cursor, Amazon Code Whisperer, OpenAI Codex, and a lot others. But our focus for today's session would be on GitHub Copilot. So, whether you're just beginning your coding journey or you are already building advanced projects, by the end of the session, you'll have a clear understanding of how to use Copilot to work smarter, not harder. So let's dive in and see how AI can help us code more efficiently and creatively. And for that, I would like to share my screen and the presentation that I have prepared. Dr. Ritika, can you confirm if my screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I will jump to the PPT. Okay, so today's session would be more around Copilot, how Copilot works, Copilot features, the different interaction modes that Copilot supports, the different LLMs that Copilot supports, licensing information around the same, developer productivity challenges, how exactly Copilot enhances the productivity of developers, then a GitHub survey and the other key findings from other organizations, certain best practices and limitations, useful prompts, and then we'll jump to one of the famous IDEs, IntelliJ IDEA, to have a demo of the same. And eventually we'll jump to the question and answer round. So when we talk about Copilot, the name itself speaks. It's a co-pilot. So you are the pilot, and it's your pair programmer. It's a pilot sitting nearby to you. So it's a cloud-based AI coding assistant, an AI-powered tool, which has been developed through a collaboration between GitHub and OpenAI. It was launched in 2021, and as I already said, it is and can act as your perfect AI powered pair programmer. It understands natural language prompts and generates relevant code suggestions. So you write your questions in simplistic English language, and you will get your prompts in the code and in the solution in the most simplistic and optimal way. It is supported by multiple integrated development environments. So whatever is your favorite environment, you can try and install the plugin and start using the same. Like VS Code, Visual Studio, JetBrains, IntelliJ IDEA is one of them, which you would be experiencing today. Vim, NeoVim, Eclipse, Xcode, and Azure Data Studio. Now, it not just understands natural language prompts and provides you the code on the basis of the same, but can even explain existing code in plain English. So, for people who are joining new teams and working around legacy projects, it helps very efficiently to understand these legacy projects in plain English. How exactly does it work? So Copilot understands natural language comments and code contexts. It provides solutions based on whatever you ask it. It generates suggestions inline as well. So when you're one of the amazing feature of Copilot is the autocomplete feature. It can predict what you are exactly trying to type, and it can give you a tab or a suggestion wherein you can click on tab and it will print out the suggestion that it is providing to you, and if you agree on the same. It can learn from project patterns and improves on based on suggestions as well. So when we talk about legacy projects, organizations and different projects have their own code consistency, have their own coding standards. GitHub Copilot can actually learn from that code consistency and coding standards that have been followed and provide you suggestions based on the same, so that you do not have to update on the code a lot. Initially, it was based on OpenAI's Codex model, but since 2021, a lot of other OpenAI models have come up, newer generations have come up, and now you can work on Copilot with the different LLMs that are supported by it as well. And we will see how we can actually move ahead on that. Copilot features, if we talk about, so as I already mentioned, code suggestions and autocomplete is one of the most famous feature that Copilot has. It can generate code based on your comments. It supports multiple languages. So it is just not Java based, it is just not C++ based, but it can help front-end developers writing JavaScript code, writing HTML code. It can help DevOps in writing deployment based code, YAML files, etc. It can help software quality assurance engineers in writing test cases, automating the test cases. So it supports multiple languages, it supports multiple domains around, and hence it is a single source of contact for each and every developer in a team. It can explain and translate code, so you can, for people who are new to the team, they can understand the code. They can help in they can document whatever has been written, so they can help in documentation being new team members. It helps in multiple file editing, so it's just not a single file editor, because as per the scope of the project, Copilot has access to multiple files in the scope of the project, and hence it can help you refactor or update multiple files with a single prompt. Then it can tailor made your suggestions. So whatever custom instructions you are giving, it can give you more suggestions on how you can improve your code, or you can even ask how can I improve my code, and it will give you more innovative suggestions to add on to the same. A new thing has come up with GitHub Copilot, which is PR assistance. So pull request assistance, summarizing PRs, being a PR reviewer also is one of the major features that have come into the picture, wherein GitHub Copilot can actually review your code when you are committing, and your pull requests when you are committing, and suggests further improvements as well. Then there are dynamic code completions at real time, and we will see it during the demo how exactly it supports the same. It is compatible with a lot of IDEs, like already mentioned, IntelliJ IDEA, Visual Studio, VS Code, etc. Dr. Ritika, I think we got a chat message that the PPT is not visible. Is it
Ma'am, it is
visible?
clearly visible. I request the participant to kindly check their system. It is clearly visible.
All right. Okay. Okay. Thank you. It supports language translation as well. So a major feature of GitHub Copilot, because a lot of in working in the IT industry, I have observed a lot of times this comes up that there are legacy projects written in C sharp or written in C++, and we want to upgrade it, we want to update it to Java, or it has been the code is written in Java version 11 and it needs to be upgraded to the latest version of Java. So a lot of these kind of requirements are coming in as in the IT industry, and it becomes very difficult for new team members to actually understand the code and transform it or translate it. But with GitHub Copilot, you can actually translate your code, your projects from one language to another. Of course, you have to test it up, but it supports a lot of language translation features as well. It another feature which is partially supported by GitHub Copilot, along with the interaction with Visual Studio Code, is voice-based interaction, which is again a great thing. It supports software testing also. So a lot of QA experts are also profited by using GitHub Copilot, because they can work on automation and they do not have to learn the syntax and the code and everything. But these QA experts can work on automation as well. They can get the edge case scenarios tested up. They can create new test cases. They now have a pair programmer as well who can help them to understand what the developer has written and how efficiently they can test the code. So even with software testing, Copilot is giving a lot of advantages to the different members of a team. Now, at one point of time when I had started using Copilot, there used to be just one mode, which was the ask mode. But now Copilot provides a lot of interaction modes, like edit mode, agent mode, and the latest one is the plan mode, which has come up in the latest version 1.5.61243. When we talk about these different modes, all have different pros and cons. So when we come upon the ask mode, it's a normal Q&A mode. So you provide a prompt to Copilot and it provides you answer based on your question. Once your answer is provided, once the answer is received by you, you can review it and you can copy the code and you can paste it in your project. It's a manual task. Then the new thing is the edit mode, which makes direct changes to your existing code, but it is for a smaller scope of the project. So whatever question you're asking to Copilot or whatever problem you're throwing it to it, it will try to access your project files and it will try to make updates in those files. But yes, only after your approval of those changes would those changes be committed further. Then we have the agent mode. It is an autonomous multi-step execution. So multiple files can be accessed by the agent mode, and also as the name speaks, agent. Someone is working for you. Okay, so agent mode, multiple files you can get updated by the agent mode. Not only just updating those files, but also if you provide permission to Copilot, it can also run certain commands in the terminal. It can execute your test cases, it can build your project, it can call your APIs, it can run the curl commands, and that's how agent mode is more powerful. Then we have the plan mode. Plan mode provides a step-by-step plan for larger tasks. So if you ask GitHub Copilot, okay, can you create a REST API for me? So in the plan mode, it will share you that, okay, I'll have analyze the entire scope of the project. Then I'll have a look at the service class. Then I'll create a service class for you. Then I'll create a controller class for you. Then I'll create a model class for you. So in this way, it will create a step-by-step plan for you, and it will show you basically it's just like a flowchart or an algorithm to help you understand what exactly GitHub Copilot is thinking about. So in perfect sense, a pair programmer, somebody who is working with you, somebody who is explaining everything to you, and you don't have to wait for another engineer to support you during this journey of your development. Then we have, again, this is something which is new with Copilot. There are some of the new features, that is, it can, earlier it was based on Codex only, but now it supports a lot of other premium models as well. Some of them I am highlighting you over here, like GPT 4.1, GPT 4o, GPT 5 mini, and Claude. And there are other premium models as well. Now, all these models have their own capabilities. Okay, some have excellent reasoning skills, some are lightweight, some are cheaper, some are fast, some are less precise, some are more precise, some have strong reasoning, some have high quality coding. So each of these features would help you in the selection of which model would you would like to choose. Okay, so when you choose any of these models, if there is any pricing involved, make sure to have a look at the same, because if you have a GitHub Copilot license and if you choose a heavy model, for example, let's say you chose Claude, now it's a heavy model, so there would be extra pricing involved and you would be able to see that your number of requests per month are getting exhausted way faster than earlier. So it is better that you have an idea around which model you want to choose and be mindful when making the selection that your license pricing might increase as per the use of the model. This is the licensing information, general information. So Copilot Pro is $10 per month per user, and Copilot Pro Plus is $39 per user per month. Copilot Business is $19 per user per month, and Copilot Enterprise is $39 again per user per month. So moreover, Copilot Business and Enterprises are used by organizations because there are some business and organization restrictions also in place. And Copilot Pro and Pro Plus can be used by individual users for their own advantages as well. Coming to the challenge that we were talking about, productivity. Productivity in today's world is a major concern with a lot of organizations. So when it comes to developer productivity, with every day the customer requirements keep on changing, every day the code becomes more and more complex, and every day the delivery expectation is that things can be delivered in shorter period of time and with highest optimization. So increasing code complexity and delivery expectations is a major challenge for developers. Then why a lot of time is taken by developers? Because a lot of time is actually spent on boilerplate code and repetitive code. Again, when I'm new to the team and I'm not sure about what the legacy system was working on, how it was working on, and some new requirement comes to me, I would like to design my own architecture. And sometimes that code can be repetitive in terms of what the scope the project already had in its scope. So a lot of time is spent on that, which is not exactly time spent in a smarter way. It's a time wasted up in writing up just a skeleton models. Then comes context switching between documentation and code. So when we are coding, that's one thing. But if my colleague wants to understand the code, documentation is something which is very, very, very important in the IT industry. And when it comes to context switching, documenting, and then coding, and documenting and coding, then it becomes difficult for the developer to retain the focus. Then comes code quality and consistency. So again, when you are into a legacy project, into a project which is already working, then and you have to work on some new requirement, you have to maintain the consistency of the code as well. Now, each organization have their own coding standards. Each organization has their own rules that they follow while they are coding. In fact, each project and each team also follow a certain coding standard and consistency. So that is again a problem for any new member who joins the team. So code quality and code consistency is another bottleneck for developers. Onboarding and knowledge transfer, oh my god, it's a huge bottleneck for people who are joining new teams, because KTs or knowledge transfer sessions take a lot of time of other team members as well. And because takes a lot of time for other team members, the team bandwidth is ultimately reduced, again affecting the team productivity, organization productivity, and leading to delays in deliveries. Documentation gaps. a lot of legacy projects do not have the documentations because documentation is maintained by people now more often, but the older documentations are sometimes corrupted or they were not updated. So there are always documentation gaps, which we are able to find in when we are working on real-time projects. Debugging and error resolution. So sometimes we are stuck as developers, we are stuck in debugging a problem which was faced by let's say by one of my older senior members in the team. But the senior member is no more in the team. Senior member has moved out of the team maybe, and now I'm stuck with a problem which is maybe a one line solution, but I'm just stuck with the problem. So debugging and error resolution, and I have nowhere to go. So debugging error resolution is again one of the bottlenecks for developers who are trying to fix up issues. Sometimes issues are one-line solutions but take forever to get fixed. Collaboration bottlenecks, again a major problem with developers when it comes to productivity, because with different in a microservice architecture, different services are interacting with each other. These services are owned by different teams, so different teams have to actually collaborate to come up to a solution when it comes to some kind of issue that the customer is facing. And when it comes to inter-team collaboration, it's great, but when it comes to collaboration with other teams, it sometimes does lead to a lot of problems. Now, how exactly Copilot enhances productivity? See, what Copilot is exactly doing is it is trying to reduce your dependency as a developer to your own team members and to other teams as well. It is trying to help you as a pair programmer to so that you are able to speed up your code writing. You are able to have, you are able to get onboarded quickly. You are able to understand what exactly is written in legacy codes. So it reduces context switching because documentation, again, Copilot has a great feature wherein it can help you with the documentation of what exactly is written in the code. It can help it can help in speeding up code writing. It reduces repetitive tasks and helps in automation. Acts as an on-demand knowledge assistant. Wow, it's a knowledge assistant for you. And of course, it is working on your own demand. It helps with unfamiliar syntax or APIs, and of course, speeds up onboarding. It improves the code quality and promotes consistent coding practices. So whatever code consistency has been followed, GitHub Copilot will provide you the code in a similar way only. Plus, it can also help you in enhancing the code quality as well. It helps in enhancing documentation, accelerating debugging. So now if I am not able to solve an issue, I can go to Copilot and it can help me in solving the issue instead of I trying to figure out with certain other team members of my team and reducing their bandwidth and their work and hampering their work. I can accelerate my debugging practices using Copilot. And it encourages experimentation as well because you can ask it to provide you innovative solutions to your problems. We talked about all of this, but when it comes to the real-time scenario, what exactly is the picture? So GitHub did a survey in 2021 when they came up with GitHub Copilot, and if you would have a look at this short over a year, 88% people felt that they were more productive. 59% were less frustrated when they were coding, so they were quite satisfied. 60% were more fulfilled with feeling fulfilled with their job. 74% were focused on more satisfying work because they were working more on the on solving on how to solve a problem rather than on the syntactical issues and boilerplate code. 88% had faster completion rate. 96% were faster repetitive tasks. 73% were more in the flow of what exactly they're doing, the business flow. 77% had less time searching around the legacy code, searching around the net for solutions. And 87% felt that they were having less mental effort on repetitive tasks. So, concluding it, GitHub Copilot supports faster completion times, conserves developers' mental energy, helps them focus on more satisfying work on the logic rather than on the code, and ultimately find more fun in the coding they do. And fun is when you're actually trying to solve a problem. These are certain organizations who actually adapted to Copilot and have felt incredible productivity gain. So Accenture, found 55% faster. Copilot was helping developers code 55% faster and making 85% feel more confident about their code. All pay 10% overall productivity gain, 25% increase in release volume. Capita saw 15 to 25% improvement in developer productivity. Emphasis achieved 50 to 60% productivity increase and almost 25% faster unit test generation. ANZ Bank had again a notable boost in productivity and code quality. GovTech Singapore found developer productivity rose by 21 to 28%, and with 95% of participants saying Copilot increased their job satisfaction. So numbers don't lie. And in fact, in our own teams also, we have tried Copilot and we have seen incredible percentage hikes when it comes to the productivity of developers. Not only developers, again, I would like to highlight, not only developers, but all the people who are working in the IT industry, from business analysts to developers to quality assurance engineers to DevOps engineers to stakeholders. For everybody, GitHub Copilot is a major pair programmer, is a major assistant when it comes to working in IT projects. But a lot of advantages we talked about with respect to Copilot, but there are certain best practices and limitations that Copilot also holds, of course. So you always have to review the generated code, and that is something that even GitHub suggests. So you always have to review the generated code because it is your pair programmer. It is not a replacement. It is not another human engineer sitting next to you, but it's a pair programmer. It's an AI powered tool. Use it for productivity, but not for sensitive or proprietary logic. So you can use it, of course, for coding, but make sure that your project is not client sensitive. It does not have any client sensitive information, because at the end of the day, these AI powered tools are trained on public repositories, on open source code, and if you are exposing anything which is sensitive for your own organization, then it's a major bottleneck. Always combine it with code reviews and static analysis tools, and that is again, Copilot also suggests the same, because there are certain times when it suggests vulnerable code. So if you have static analysis tools in place, your vulnerabilities would be highlighted, and those vulnerabilities that can be tackled by you. But if you don't have those tools at hand, then these and you are just copying and pasting all the code, not reviewing anything, then it would lead to issues eventually when you're moving on to production environments. There are certain limitations as well. So there is a terminology called AI hallucination, wherein it hallucinates, or it tries to predict something which you are not thinking. All predictions are not always right. So it may suggest inaccurate or insecure code. It is not aware of your business context at all. Of course, it has the scope of your project, it has the scope of your current project in which you're working on, but it is not aware of your organization, it is not aware of your business context or what exactly you're thinking. It can just make assumptions. Licensing and attribute considerations, major things. Of course, licensing and pricing and costing is at place, but when it comes to attribution considerations, it means that sometimes Copilot might suggest similar code which has been written in a copyrighted model also. Not same code, but similar code. Now, Copilot would never tell you that it has, got this information from some XYZ site, and that should be added into your specified into your code, which you should ideally do. But Copilot would not suggest it. So without reviews, you would not be able to catch that, and so that's why code reviews are very much required. Privacy and data security in enterprise environments. Of course, when it comes to client sensitive data, you have to be very sure of what you're exposing. So if you are exposing things to Copilot, you cannot, held Copilot responsible for exposing that data to other environments. Okay. So now moving on to certain useful prompts which can be utilized by developers and by industry experts for quick prompts for getting quick solutions. /doc, explain, fix, generate, help, optimize, tests, and we would see how they are all going to work together. Okay, let's jump up to demo, and I would share my development environment for the same. Okay, I hope my IDE is visible. Dr. Ritik, can you please
Yes,
confirm?
ma'am. Yes,
All right. Okay. So first I would like, this is IntelliJ IDEA, and I have created a blank project. There's nothing in it. It's a blank project. We just have the main folder and the test folder. And so we would see how the plugin how you can install the plugin from the marketplace. So this is GitHub Copilot. I have already installed it and have enabled it. This is how it looks like. So you can find the plugin when you're trying to integrate it. You can find the plugin in your IDE, supported IDE. Okay. Once that is done and you open the Copilot, this is the icon of GitHub Copilot chat. When you open it, see, it always says I am powered by AI, so surprises and mistakes are possible. Make sure to verify any generated code or suggestions and share feedback so that we can learn and improve. All right, so make sure to get your code reviews done properly. So once I try to open it, right now I am logged into GitHub and I have the Copilot license, but there is also Copilot free version which you can use, but you'll always have to log into GitHub. So log into GitHub, here a login tab would come in. Once that is done, you would be able to log in and you would be able to see the Copilot chat, and you can see you can, have this entire window visible. Okay, so I was talking about the different modes in action. Okay, so earlier they used to be just this ask mode, but now there is edit, agent, and plan mode, which is the latest one. And then it also gives the option to configure certain other agents, which you can go ahead and explore. In the favor of time, in the interest of time, we'll just move ahead. These are the different LLMs that I was talking about. So these are the standard models which are already included in my plan, the plan that I have. And these are certain premium models. Now you will be able to see there is costing, extra costing involved with all of these. So, be aware when you're trying to use these. We will go ahead with auto. And auto would directly choose the default mode, which is 4.1 for us. Okay. So now let me ask, I'll show you what different modes are doing and how exactly we are using the different prompts, etc. Okay, so I go ahead to the ask mode and let's try to create a REST API. Okay. Okay. So while it works on what I have asked it, I don't have to wait for its prompt. See how it quickly provides me the entire solution along with an explanation summary. Okay, let's see what it has provided us. So it has provided me Spring Boot dependency to enable REST controller and JPA. It has updated the POM, so I can either copy the code block or I can directly insert the code block. Okay, so if my cursor is over here and try to insert the code block, this entire thing would get copied over here. Then it has provided me demo application to run the application, provided me user model class, which is having ID, username, email, full name, and whatever, briefly it can come up with. It has also provided me user repository class, user service class, then user controller class. Okay, and it has provided me an explanation summary that user controller is exposing this get API, user service wraps repository access. There is user repository which defines find by username and email. User is a deep JPA entity, and then what all things are required in the POM. Okay, so this is ask. Now, as I said, there is manual intervention. So I would literally have to go ahead, create the entire folder structure over here, having the controller folder, having the service folder, having the repo folder, etc. And then I can copy all these to the respective folders in a clean way. Of course, you can copy and put everything over here, but in a cleaner way, you'll have to have the entire folder structure created manually by yourself. But at the same time, if I go to the edit mode, okay, let me go to the First, let me copy the same prompt that I gave it. I go to the edit mode and I do this. Now let's see what exactly it does. Now this is the edit mode, so it will take a little bit more of our time. And as I was saying, I don't have to wait for its response. I can now this application is a blank project, so you would not know what exactly to explore. But otherwise, while it is working, I can go ahead and I can work on other things also. So as a perfect pair programmer, it is working. You don't have to wait for its response and or your is not frozen at that time, hampering your own productivity. It is actually here to enhance your productivity, not stop you from working anything on anything else. So you would be able to see it has created the entire folder structure for me with the controller layer, model layer, repo layer, and service layer. And it has copied all these things. But again, it is waiting for me to approve these changes because it has added a lot of changes and it is waiting for me to accept all these changes. If I accept these changes, again it prompts me these are AI generated changes and you have to review them. So in the interest of time, we'll just accept these changes. Okay, now I am able to see, okay, hold on, there are a lot of errors. So what I am going to do is I will try to fix them. So as I mentioned, see there also Copilot inline chat option that is available, which will open a chat over the code that I have selected. And then again, there are certain these quick prompts: simplify, generate docs, generate test, fix this, explain this, generate code review. On the remember we are talking about pull requests, right? So pull requests is Copilot can act as a reviewer for those pull requests. It can act as a reviewer for your code. Generate code review, reference file in chat, add file to working set in edits. So there is a section over here wherein you can add these. This is the working set. You can add more files also over here. Okay, but right now I want to show you the inline chat. So inline chat, I would say, we'll go ahead with this quick prompt, which is slash fix. Let's see what it does. So it shows you what exactly it is trying to do. It is trying to collect the context. It is trying to analyze the problem, and it provided me a certain fix, which is it says that it is missing the string imports. The file had stray or missing string imports, causing the annotation to be unresolved. It has removed the stray tokens, and it is providing me that ensure that project has the spring web dependency in POM XML and reload the Maven project. Okay, so let's say I don't know what dependency it is asking me to add. So I can ask in the added mode. Okay, by the time it is actually providing me a response, I can also see it has provided me, it is working on the files and it has provided me the updated POM. I can see the changes as difference as well. See, this is what it has added. And then if I let me accept the changes and then do a Maven update. Okay, so by the time these dependencies are getting resolved, I would also show you what other things and our errors are resolved now. Okay, again we go to the inline chat and I say slash doc. See. So this is the Java doc that I was talking about. So the context switching for document between documentation and code, you can easily skip that. It is creating me documentation as well. Then I say slash explain. Okay, Now it is providing me the entire explanation, the purpose, writing, example, endpoint, and everything. So it has provided me all of that. Now let me show you how exactly it predicts what next you want to do. Okay, so let's say I want to add certain more parameters to this. Uh, so it suggests me, okay, you want to add password. Let's accept it by clicking tab. Then we did this. Then it is reflecting that you want to add role and see it's a autocomplete feature by GitHub Copilot. So if I click on tab, then it will give me, it will add it to me as well. Okay, now let's see if I am able to create tests for this as well. Okay, so what I do is again, I go over here, I go to GitHub Copilot. Either I can click on generate tests or I can do this. Okay, and it will create certain test cases for me. Now, here, whatever I'm doing, it is providing me in the ask mode only. Okay, if I want that all of this is directly pasted up into a test class, what I can do is I'll just close this and I will from the working set, let me remove this file, this file, this file, and this file, and I say so based on this the working set, it will create the test class for me, which would be directly available over our test folder in the correct folder structure. Okay, so here it created the user controller test class. Okay, and if I go to the agent mode, let's say I go to the plan mode. I say discard and continue. I go to the plan mode and I say so then it give me entire step-by-step execution of how that can be achieved. See, along with the entire explanation. So post API steps, create a request, DTO, add test, further considerations, etc., etc. So entire explanation it is giving me along with what exactly what model it has used. So it has used GPT-5 mini. So it automatically has used the LLM that best suited this concern of ours. Then we if I go to the agent mode and I write something else. Let's say I write this. So you would be able to see that it is again, it will show you how it is working on this. Being the agent and a pair programmer, it is going to share its thoughts as well. So it is reading the files, it is reading the controller class, service class, repo class, TTOs, model class, everything, and then it has started editing now. Okay, see here changes are already available. Now, as I mentioned that agent and in edit mode and in agent mode, what is the major difference? You can also run the commands in terminal. So if I continue this, it will try to run the command as well. Okay, and along with that, not just run the command, but it will understand the execution and whatever came up, whatever issues came up, and next steps you can run locally. You can create Maven, you can run Maven test or run the application like this. It will provide you suggestions on the basis of the commands that it ran as well. Okay. Refactoring is also one of important things that it provides. Refactoring, bug resolution, we have already seen. So if I say, I go over here, I go to the Copilot chat and I say refactor this. So it will provide me, it will refactor this. Not only this, you can also calculate the complexity. Okay, so it has refactored it. Now let's say I say calculate complexity. Oh, okay. Now you would be thinking that it's just a small method. Why the complexity is required? So I'm not showing you that complexity matters over here. What I'm trying to show you there are complex lines of code when we are working in the real time environment. There are 100 lines of code, and you would not be able to judge the complexity at that point of time. So with Copilot, you can know what is the complexity and whether you can reduce the complexity more or not, or whether it is the most optimal solution or not. Okay, so that is that. And yeah, it moreover covers most of the features that Copilot provides. Again, disclaimer, make sure that you are reviewing the code that Copilot is providing you, and make sure to apply the changes only if you feel that the code and the scope of the project is limited and does not have any secure data. Okay, last thing that I would be trying to show you is generate code review. So it is trying to generate code review. It would suggest some things, though we have not made any changes, but of course it's a code review, so it will provide us certain review comments. Okay. Okay, and this leads to the end of the session, and yeah, Dr. Ritika, we are open for Q&A. I think that is moreover it from my end. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the wonderful demonstration of how GitHub Copilot can be included into our work. And yes, we do have a few questions from the participant, so which I would like to now take up with your permissions.
Yes, please.
Yes. First question we have is that Copilot, as it is learning from vast amount of public code, so always there is a risk of suggesting insecure coding practices, outdated solutions, or copyrighted code. How do organizations overcome that?
See, as I said, it's a pair programmer. So even, I mean, in the earlier days, I remember people used to go to Stack Overflow and other open websites and other open communities to get to know if any better solution is available there, which can be used or reused or updated. Copilot can provide these kind of suggestions which have vulnerabilities in place, and in fact it also highlights the potential vulnerabilities. Sometimes when it gives the suggestions, it highlights that there are 9 potential vulnerabilities, XYZ potential vulnerabilities, and you should be able to overcome those. So as I mentioned in the PPT also, that you should have these static tools available wherein all this vulnerability checks are in place. Plus, code review is not to be skipped. Code reviews by your team members, by your senior members, is very very much required. You cannot rely on Copilot. It is just a pair programmer. It is helping you. It is not somebody who is trying to be another developer in the industry. It is just there to help you. So when you're taking reference from it, make sure that you are making required changes. You are not just copying everything up and pasting it up.
Absolutely, very rightly said. Another question we have, ma'am, for the free version of it, like what would be the limitations? How much is it going to be a pair programmer if free version is used?
I could say share the website link, and you can have a look at the number of tokens that are available with the free version. But you would not be having the edit and the agent modes available in that. So in a Q&A mode, you can use it. You can copy and paste everything like the way you require, but so only a certain number of requests can be handled. I don't have the number at hand right now, but I would definitely share the GitHub Copilot website link wherein you can have a look at the number of tokens that are allowed for the free version.
Sure, ma'am. Ma'am, one more question I can see. How can we apply this for healthcare systems?
Uh, yeah, I think this is coming up from the last session that we had on healthcare, right? Right. So,
Absolutely.
in the healthcare systems, when it comes to see this GitHub Copilot, and when I'm talking about, it is not ChatGPT. So it is not it can be used in integrated development environments only. Copilot, as Copilot, a lot of other organizations are also providing, like Microsoft. So using it in healthcare industry, if there is I think most the documentations and I'm not very sure if they're using IDEs in the healthcare system. But if they're using IDEs and if they are creating systems like that, wherein they have a just like a hospital management system they have. So in those kind of systems, from the development point of view, they can use it. GitHub Copilot is moreover utilized by IT industry experts, developers, DevOps people, and other people. So if there are these systems in place in healthcare industry, definitely GitHub Copilot would be a thumbs up. But if these systems are not there, then other AI powered tools, which was rightly talked about in the last session, they can be utilized.
Absolutely. One more question that I see. Does Copilot help in generating a mind map by understanding the existing code?
Mind map, very nicely termed. So it predicts what you might be thinking based on how the code is written. So if I say a user, as you were able to see, I said user, and I in my user class I had email and department. I tried to write more, and it gave me what role, it gave me department, and if I would have added more, it might have given me address. So these are certain basic things that a user profile might have. So it is able to predict. But if I am saying anything which is unique to it also, it would not be able to suggest anything more. So it is trying to predict, it is trying to hallucinate what you might be thinking ahead based on the scope of the project, based on what business standards are being followed. But mind map, it's not a human, it's an AI powered tool, so it still has limited knowledge. Okay, it has been trained on public repositories, and lots and lots of LLM models have been utilized. It has been trained on lots and lots of data, but it is not never a replacement for a human mind. So it tries to connect the dots and provide you with predictions, but I would not say that it can create a mind map and be a replacement of a human mind.
Absolutely, very rightly said. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. But not before we thank you for the same. So I would invite Professor M.N. Huda sir to present ma'am with a certificate and e-memento as a token of remembrance for this wonderful session today. Huda sir.
So thank you so much, madam.
Thank you.
Akanksha,
Thank
it
you so
was a
much, sir.
very informative, well presented, as always the industry people do, and very useful. Probably when there will be any challenge in meeting with the productivity, this lecture will be remembered. I
I
always
am
say in
glad.
the
I'm glad.
I
I
always
hope it
say
would
in
be
the
helpful.
classroom that because of the changing ecosystem, the degree of agility in the mindset of the customer is changing. And we have no choice but to evolve our teaching learning process, day-to-day teaching learning process, also in such a way that it must meet up the productivity challenge, which because of the higher degree and the changing degree of agility customer is putting forward. This lecture will be remembered to tackle that. And this certificate is not for certification purpose by any means. It is just for a remembrance that when this topic will be remembered, we will be remembered. This session will be remembered. Thank you so much. Memento also, please.
Yes, sir.
And you might have noticed that everything has changed. Imagine right from the interaction, then Akanksha, the session, your bouquet, certificate, and then this memento. Everything is electronic into the nature. So we are increasing sustainability and bringing newer and newer approaches in our delivery system so that more and more people should get benefited. This lecture would have been attended by much more number of people, around 200 people from my campus attend, but none of them could attend because there are some other activities examination related, and I'm also in the campus and rest all in the campus. So thank you so much. We'll meet again. You are free to leave, but participants, this meeting room is converted into a facilitation center to resolve your queries related to certificates. My team member, Dr. Ritika, is here, and she will take care of all your queries related to certificates. But please understand If you do not fill up the feedback form, we will not be able to give you the certificate. So do listen to the instruction which Dr. Ritika gives and fill up the feedback form. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best.
Okay, sir. Thank you.